Hey, True Believers England team here, and rest in peace, Al Jafee, right? Oh my gosh. For those of you who don't know, he's an artist for Mad Magazine. He was responsible for the Mad fold-in. I'm going to read an article I saw I kind of liked, and just a little bit explaining everything. Yeah, it's kind of funny because thought he was dead. I know that's kind of bad. Actually, he turned 100 not too long ago. So, wow. Um, hey, he made the big 100, but you know what? It was a lot of fun. I loved as a kid, I loved Mad Magazine. I liked doing the whole Mad fold ins and everything. You got to understand, just as many people in the entertainment industry, he was a leftist. And I remember he did have one fold in where it was like, what addictive substance is ruining America. I'm paraphrasing here. And it's shown a whole bunch of people going around doing all sorts of drugs. And then when you fold it in, it was Fox News. So, he was a leftist, but he'd still had some really clever ones. And that one wasn't actually bad. Hello to Kali. Al Jaffee's one of the greatest talents from the one and only Mad Magazine. And we truly thought he would live forever. Rest in peace. Yeah. But I did find this. I found a couple of articles, as a matter of fact. And one was just talking about his career. And I think that one is pretty cool. And then one of them, actually, it's the fun one. I think I'll just start with that one, is really going over 13 of his covers. So I thought, okay, let's check this out. It says usually it's oh, hold on, let me put my glasses on for this part. I usually don't like wearing them on live streams anymore because you see the reflection, not my eyes. And you need to see the eyes for the trust, right? I mean, it's the window to the soul, as they say. Ah, shoot, I just closed it out by accident. So I'm trying to move it down, and that's what ended up happening. Let's see, 13 covers. Al Jafee. Professionalism, that's what you find around here. And I just get Apple iPhone 13 cases. Is Google like absolutely freaking useless now? Seriously? 13 covers, Al Jafee, and I'm looking at Apple iPhone 13 cases and covers. Seriously, that's what we need to know. That's what we're looking for here now. Good Lord in heaven. Oh, by the way, tonight is Monday night. It is a open mic night, so feel free if you have a topic you want to talk about. If you saw something going on, it's like, you know what, I want your opinion on this. By all means, bring it up. I sent the invitation to everybody, but it's not like it was. So I don't know if anybody's going to jump in. But here we go. How are you guys doing? It says usually it's 13 covers when one of the greatest celebrities, a birthday out, who's now 100, 13 Mad fold-ins. Now we could have gone all retro, but the beautiful thing is this selection shows just how vibrant the retired Jafee remained until the end of his career. Not to sound like a condescending tool, but good Lord, do I hope I still have it at 100. And so we have this, and we've got a few of his covers. It says, who wants to be president more than anything? And you've got what is it? Rich candidates, Rockefeller and Goldwater would fight hard. And of course, you see the fold in, and it's Richard Nixon. And then we go with fabulous, attractive creatures quickly become overly exploited. Commercially, leopards, cheetahs, peacocks, parrots, topical fish, and butterflies are good examples. But recently, a new, very special specimen has fallen into the category. To identify this creature, fold in the pages shown, and we see this beautiful butterfly that becomes Elvis Presley. Okay, that's kind of funny. Let's see. This one is truthiness, wordiness, wikiality, eagle ability, buzzwords, GOP, waspish, excuse me, not waspiss. Liberal racist, and then it folds in, and it's got George Bush. Like I said, he was a leftist. After years of absence, and suddenly a dusty old artifact is once again center of the anticipation and excitement. It's unclear whether it will stand up to close examination or crumble into an antique pile of dust. To find out what this near prehistoric object of fascination is, fold in the page as shown, and we see it's John McCain. Okay, that one's timely. I don't think that's Yeah, or of its time. There's been a lot of health scares lately, but there's only one terrifying department in particular that's just too much to stomach. One thing is clear now more than ever, the public has too much on their plate. To find out what this sickening problem is, fold in the page of show. It says dense crowded pig pens boost a meat company's gross profit, but they also spread disease and slay people. Wow, he really was out there. And of course, the big danger is bacon and sausage and eggs. Dude, bring me the bacon. Actually, Gail and I have been having these bacon and egg dinners. Thank you very much, and quite enjoying them, to tell you the truth. Yeah, let me do this so I can actually read this and see your comments here. I've never gotten into Mad Magazine, says Austin P, even when I started getting into comics. For us, it was a thing. Look, in the 70s, it was it was a big thing. Even if you didn't read comics, you more than likely picked up a Mad Magazine. And the fold-ins were just a special treat. MK saying, Rip, was he the guy who did the marginal? He was. I don't know if he did the marginal stuff, but he definitely, like I said, he did the fold-ins. That's why I'm reading these off here. Little tribute. There are too many forms to file. It's not fair making people do this. Techies need to research major ways to resolve this mess. We need boldness based on new ideas to end these form-crazed rackets. And then you fold it in to see... Okay, this is cool. Fantasy basketball teams and such like that. Okay, that's clever. They're March Madness brackets. This one, and usually you could see what it is when you start seeing too many of these, you can actually see it before it happens. This one says, for a long time, it seems like all the industries in this country was dying and no one would take any action. Amazingly, the government has proven that they are paying close attention and know exactly what we're all saying. In fact, when they looked at the numbers, the results were just staggering to find out what industry is back bigger than ever. And it says snowballing good economic news is developing on jobs and industrial productivity. This is urgent. If prosperity is to return to our nation, we should ignore so-called specialty phony predictions of doom. We rejoice as we recover financially and receive just rewards. And we see it's the AP snooping on journalists' phone records. Actually, now it's just the news because your day. They will mess you up if you don't have the right think. Those fold-ins were so much fun, says Kali, but we had to buy 2 copies. Yeah, I know, right? Because... Mad Magazine, you got to think that 50% of them out there have really bad covers on the back because we would fold them in and everything. Yeah, you're right about that. Condition is everything, man. Let's see. America's energy needs are at an all-high time. Okay, let's try that again. Americans' energy needs are at an all-time high and a fractured country probably. I'm sorry, it's small print and I've got old eyes. In finding a well of common cause by clamoring for change, grassroots activists are digging for a potentially earth-shattering battle. And in today's environment, it's difficult to know if such intense pressure will make a difference or if energy companies will just subject. Yeah, okay, right. Gosh, I'm going to start arguing as politics. I'm trying to be respectful. The true dilemma with buried treasure is both about finding it and recovering it. There's the hazing from many environmentalist boards of self-appointed activists to endure frank discussions by all sides, sadly lacking. And of course, you got the energy right there. You go. Sorry, gang. This is one I've got to say they got really, really bad. By the way, Spy versus Spy, Ed. Spy versus Spy is freaking classic. That was my favorite. I would look for that. That's the main one, Spy versus Spy. The reported chick with the gravity-defying bosoms were a childhood favorite. Yeah, there were a couple. Actually, they had some racy cartoons in there sometimes. It wasn't exactly kid-friendly. I'm just going to read the bigger print stuff. Here it says, all of us fear chemical misuse. It's a complex problem. We can't ignore it. It surely erode the fabric of society. We need to take rigorous action to fight this and continue background checks on people from A to Z. And you fold it in, and I'm sorry, what's this? It's just, oh, Alex Rodriguez. Okay, I see. Okay, that doesn't make sense to me. But there's like 13 of these. But yeah, I'm gonna stop there. You see what he did for Mad Magazine. It's I was a big fan of the day. I got to admit, there was a point where I stopped reading. It does cater to a certain mindset, even though it'll have political humor and everything. I stopped probably really around 17, I guess. And that was it for me. But rest in peace, Al Jafee. He made it to 100, man. That's one more than Betty White did. Actually, she was only a week away. I think she should get the honorary, you know? 99 in 1 week. Come on. But once again, this is open mic, and I just spent my topic right there, guys. So if you have something you